Hey guys, welcome to your WOD Brief for Wednesday, May 6th. Woo! My name is Zach, and I'm here with
Coach Becca.
Hello.
Hi.
And we are in a probably very familiar place for you all. We just so happen to be here. We're doing some renovations and cleaning up while we have the chance, and we just figured we'd film the WOD Brief from here. We have a WOD here written on the whiteboard, but we of course are going to go over it and explain everything. Becca has so graciously offered to demonstrate the movements while I coach and run through these for you guys. So starting with your warm-up today, we have 2 rounds. Okay, 2 rounds for your warm-up. We have 10 bird dogs, which Becca's going to demonstrate here. A bird dog is when you are on all fours and you extend one arm out in front of you and then the opposite leg out behind you. Okay, we're trying to kind of isolate and work on that back in that extended position there so you guys can get that core nice and warmed up. Okay, so we're going to do 10 total, 5 on each side. After your bird dogs, you guys are going to go to fire hydrants. You're going to maintain or stay in that position, and you're going to lift your leg as if you are urinating on a fire hydrant. Okay, that's the best description there for you, but this is a good hip opener for you guys. You have 8 total, which means 4 on each side there. Okay. Following that, you guys will have glute bridges. 2 feet are going to maintain contact with the ground. Hands are placed to your side, and then you will lift those hips up, engage your glutes. All your body weight should be shifted back onto your trap. So I want you as high or as far back onto your shoulders as possible to really help engage the glutes and the hamstrings. You guys are going to hold for 5 seconds at the top, and you will do 6 total of those. Okay. Next, you guys have 4 inchworms. Only 4, so you're not working on distance here. You guys can just stay in place, or if you have a small section that you can walk, a garage, or a nice long floor. Becca is demonstrating there, inching those feet up to the hands, and then she'll perform another walk, and I probably have the screen right now, but you guys get the idea there. All right. Lastly, Coach Becca's favorite, good mornings, her version of the good morning. 2 good mornings here. You're going to hinge at your hips, slightly bend those knees just a little bit so that your hamstrings don't take all of the force or all of the brunt there. You'll go down to the bottom, you'll hold it 5 seconds at the bottom position, and then you will extend all the way up. And then just like you're saying good morning, 5-second hold at the top. Try to extend or overextend so you guys are really engaging the abs too, stabilizing as you open up there. Only 2 of those, but a 5-second hold at the bottom position, and a 5-second hold, and then overhead top position. Okay, so that is your warm-up. That was the fun part. Now the rest is going to hurt. For part 1, we have 2 exercises for you. One, an isometric hold, and then the other, a normal functional movement. Okay. I recently was discussing this. I put this in an email for some of you, so you guys might have read this. I'm going to briefly just go over the benefit and the reasoning behind it, although you're going to feel the reasoning just as much as you now are going to be listening and hearing the reasoning. But the idea here, guys, is that we don't have access to a lot of weights. So when we program a deadlift, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to lift 200, 300 pounds. So as far as strength work, we need to figure out more creative or other ways in order to incorporate our strength work. So in this case, we're incorporating isometrics first. Isometric is when the muscle contracts, but it does not elongate or shorten. Okay, so in this case, she's just going to be holding a deadlift position. The idea here, the theory behind this, is that it is going to tire out a lot of the motor units in that muscle group, in that area, obviously your hamstrings and your glutes. And then when we go to a nice light deadlift, and you guys max out on that lighter weight on the deadlift, you have to recruit the larger muscle groups and the motor units because the other ones have died out from doing this isometric hold. Okay, so we're getting more bang for our buck for this. So what we have here, Becca's going to demonstrate. She's going to get into a deadlift position. You'll notice she's using a strap. For those of you at home, you can use a towel, you can use a bed sheet. If you don't have any of that stuff, I don't know what to tell you. But you should have something that you can grab onto that you can step on with your feet. And you see that she's wrapped her hands up in there. Be careful how tightly you wrap your fists because you should be pulling with all your might. So I don't want you guys to crush your hands there. Okay, so maybe just grab it on one wrap around your hands like so. But she's in a deadlift position. I would rather you guys think of it as you're going to be in maybe the mid-range deadlift position, okay, versus when you're in a relaxed top position there. Okay, so I'm going to probably say get your hips down a little bit lower until you feel that burn good. And she'll hold this position for 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, pulling as hard as you can, driving the heels in as hard as you can. Everything is engaged like you guys are trying to lift 500 pounds. That's the idea. You're not just gradually, you're not just lightly holding it. Okay, you're pulling, veins are popping out, and you guys are really struggling. Okay, 30 to 45 seconds. After that, you immediately drop the towel or strap, whatever it is. Grab weight. I'm going to suggest that it's a relatively light weight or moderate weight. Becca's demonstrating with a 50-pound dumbbell here. She's demonstrating a suitcase deadlift. If you would like, guys, and you have one object, you can always just hold both heads of the dumbbell like this, okay? And then perform your deadlift like so. Your goal is max effort, so as many reps as possible until you guys burn out and those butt cheeks are just burning too much and you have to let go, okay? Let's not go over 25 repetitions on your deadlift. If you are going over that, then see if you can come up with some more weight or hold your ISO hold for a longer time. Okay? We have 4 sets of this, 30 to 45 seconds in the deadlift ISO hold, and then as many reps as possible immediately after of your deadlift. Okay? Next, part 2. Take it over, Becca. I'll be the demo now.
All right. So for part 2, you guys have a workout called the Captain. All right. Here's what you're going to be doing. You guys have a death by EMOM. So we have 4 single arm power cleans on each side, 4 single arm hang power snatches, and then 20 double unders. Your goal is to accumulate all these reps in 60 seconds, okay? And you're going to be repeating this on the minute for every minute until you can no longer complete this work in that 60 seconds. Okay, this is going to be more of a sprint workout, so we are going to be expecting times to be under 12 minutes. However, it's a consistent workload for that full 60 seconds. So you're going to be burning out pretty darn quick. Let's go ahead and go over your movement standards. So your single arm power cleans, you guys are going to have a dumbbell, an odd object, a kettlebell. If you would like to do this with a barbell, you guys are welcome to. We would still keep it 4 total as far as those power cleans and then hang power snatches go. Okay? But this is what your single arm power clean is going to look like. Beautiful. So he's going to be pulling from the floor and he's catching above parallel. Okay, notice he's going to set up with his feet about shoulder width distance apart. Okay, his shoulders stay on top of his hips here. He's going to keep his back straight, drive through his heels, hips will open all the way up. He'll give a big shrug, elbow will come high, he'll drop catch, and then open his hips up at the top. Okay, so that's going to be your single arm power clean. Most important thing here, guys, is to keep your back nice and straight as you pull. Okay, make sure you're not rounding your back as you go, and then make sure you're also not giving like a bicep curl. Okay, you need to make sure that elbow comes high and you get underneath that dumbbell and open your hips to the top. Okay. Next, you guys have a hang power snatch. So he's going to be in a hang position, meaning anywhere between top of the knee, top of the thighs, where he's going to start. He's going to drive through his heels, open his hips up, big shrug, catch that dumbbell up and overhead, arm is locked out, hips open up before he brings it back down. Okay. Most important thing here, guys, is to really use those hips and use that shrug to get that dumbbell moving up, catching it over your midline, over your shoulder, as close to your ear as possible, and then again, hips open up before you bring it back down. Okay. Last but not least, you guys have double unders. So double unders, whoa, those are so good.
That was a triple. That was a triple.
Okay. 2 rotations to 1 jump. If we need to scale, we can scale. Those are good too. We're gonna scale to single unders, or if we don't have a jump rope, you guys can move to the quick steps. You guys need to know what a quick step looks like. Zach will demo for us. Whoa, look how quick his feet are. What quick steps he has. Yeah. You give me quick steps, those are going to be 20 quick steps total. So again, consistent workload for however long you can handle it. Again, looking for times about 12 minutes or under. If you guys find yourself in the first minute not being able to complete that work, feel free to scale back a rep or 2 of your single arm power cleans or hang power snatches, or you guys can scale back those double unders a little bit as well. But I would like to see you guys get minimum 5 rounds in. Okay, so make sure it's a workload you guys consistently handle for about 5 minutes.
One last thing, guys. As far as Becca had mentioned earlier, if you have access to a barbell, we're going to assume if you're using a barbell, it's going to be slightly heavier than whatever single arm object you have, which is why we would just keep the rep scheme the same. But knowing if you're going to do each arm on each minute, just because of that, it's going to take you a little bit longer than somebody going on a barbell. So we're assuming the barbell people are using heavier weight, which would in turn tire them out or make them take a little longer on that. If you were using a lightweight on your barbell, then maybe consider adding a couple reps. Okay, so you're within that same time range in this. All right?
Have a wonderful day.
That's it. Have a wonderful day. Great workout. Get it, guys. We'll be back in the gym soon. We love you guys. See you later.